Good morning and welcome to Heartland Dual Sport. In today's Show and Tell Monday, we're going to be going over a throttle lock as well as doing the giveaway. So let's get to the video. Good morning, and again, thanks for tuning in to Heartland Dual Sport. As mentioned, we're going to be doing a Show and Tell Monday and a slight review, and we're also going to be going over some tips that will help you how to safely use one of these. As many of you know, probably back in 2016 or 2017, I had a Honda Africa Twin. I did a video at one point called The 5 Things I Hate About the Africa Twin. One of them being that the Tiger, which was similarly priced, the Triumph Tiger had cruise control, and you would not believe the number of hate comments that I got when I listed that as one of my complaints that I didn't like about the Honda Africa Twin. Here nor there, it doesn't matter. The simple fact is, if you're going to be taking a long road trip, some sort of throttle lock, because obviously the KLR does not have cruise control, a throttle lock will come in handy and it will help you have a better, more comfortable ride. And when you're riding more comfortable, you're not stressed, you're not in pain, you can concentrate on your riding skills, which ultimately makes you a safer rider, especially for long hauls and long days. Again, it was relatively cheap. We got it on Amazon. I'll have a link down below if you're interested in purchasing this one. I will say this, if you notice when we do the close-ups, there is a little rubber grommet in here, which does help keep the screw from coming unscrewed. I was worried about that. We just got back from it's over 2,500 mile trip. I don't know, I haven't looked at my odometer for the official mileage yet, but we'll get to that later. Real easy, real simple to install on your bike. You just put it on your throttle side, you tighten this screw down until it's snug against your grip. This also comes with 2 little rubber pieces that I did not use, but you could put it on here to keep from rubbing a spot into your grip if that's what you want to do. I opted not to use them. I'm not sure why, and then by the time I thought about maybe using them, I'd already lost them, so who knows where they're at. They're here somewhere, but I'll find them eventually. But again, when you're riding your bike, you're going to be able to slide this back, and I'll have close-ups of this as well, where you can roll the throttle on. What you'll want to do is you'll want to roll the throttle on a little bit past your desired speed. Now generally for me, and the way I was using this thing is I would use it to get a couple of minute break in, shake your hand out, that way you can keep on rolling. It's nice in between gas stops. On this ride that we took, we averaged a gas stop every 80 to 100 miles. As many of you know from watching the day 1 video, which should have already posted by now, most of our trip we took back roads. Where this really came in handy and shined is we did an iron butt run on the way back from the East Coast back to Texas. It was over 1,000 miles, which qualifies us for the iron butt. We'll have a whole nother video about that later. So what I want to talk about more today is using this thing safely and getting used to it. When you first use this and dial it on, I want to make sure that you're aware that you need to be, if you can be on a 2-lane with no traffic anywhere near you when you first put this on. Because when you let your hand off, your brain and the way your muscle memory works, you're gonna, initially it's gonna be like, oh wow, this is a weird sensation because the bike's not slowing down when I let off the gas. If the bike is slowing down when you let off the gas, you probably need to tighten this knob up just a little bit more. Now, mind you, it doesn't need to be banjo tight to work. You just need it to hold a little bit of friction. And it's okay if your bike slows down a little bit, you just don't want that abrupt slowing down like you would if you just let off the throttle. But it is a different sensation that you need to get used to, and I want you to do that in an open area with no traffic around you. It's just going to make your life a whole lot easier and a lot less stressful if you can practice this several times, kind of get the hand movements down and build up a little bit of muscle memory, because what's going to happen inevitably is we're all creatures of habit, and once you kind of really relax and you start using it more and more, you're going to end up relaxing, and then you're going to look up ahead and there's going to be brake lights up ahead, and when you may not even realize you've left the throttle lock engaged because you got done shaking your hand out and you just put your hand back down, you see brake lights up ahead, you go to roll off the throttle and you realize, oh, crud, I need to do something and my bike's not slowing down. You might even try to pull in your clutch and now you've got a lot of revs going on. So what you want to do is just keep in mind that if that happens, roll your hand forward and manually turn it off, because you can do that. It's just friction, so you can still do that, but I'd rather you do that than panic and have a problem, because this could lead to a panic. It's not like a true cruise control where you tap the brakes and now all of a sudden you've got no acceleration. This is manually locking your throttle back to the point that it could be problematic if you find yourself in a situation in the traffic, and that's why I suggest you get to use this thing and learn how to use it on a long, open, straight highway. I don't even want to see you trying to do it in curves. Again, I don't make these, I'm not sponsored by this company or anything else, but I would just want you to be as safe as possible. And I could see where, as a young rider or a novice rider or somebody like that, don't even buy one of these things, because it's going to get you in trouble. Your older guys that have been riding for a long time, or some of you guys that have more experience riding, just bear in mind that this is a throttle lock. It's locking your throttle in place, and when you let off, I don't want you to panic, because it could happen. Now then, with that said, it's a great tool and it came in handy several times throughout the trip. Again, I was very particular when I would use this. I would only use it on straightaways where there wasn't a car within a mile of me. That way it eliminates any stress. You can actually relax, shake your hand out, do whatever it is you need to do. On the back roads, it's not as important, because about every 15 or 20 miles you're going to be rolling up into a town where you're going to slow down anyways and stop. Where it, like I said, where it really comes in handy is if you're going to be on long interstate rides and you're stopping, instead of 80 to 100 miles, you're stopping 100 to 150 miles for fuel and gas. It comes in extremely helpful in those situations. As you guys know, a lot of times I will talk about stuff and I'll tell you whether or not I think it's worth the money. For the 10 or 15 bucks that this thing costs, I think it is a great tool. I know that they've got another different style that is more like a button for your thumb, and it kind of smashes between your grip and the housing for your throttle. And that one is like $100 and something. I wish I had the money to buy one of them so I could do a comparison. However, I spent that $100 and what I was going to save camping versus motel rooms to buy the Garmin. I did that on purpose, because I figured if I stayed in a hotel room 3 or 4 nights in that trip, if I camped instead of doing that, I could easily pay for the Garmin and have it for the rest of my life, or the rest of my riding career, or until the thing fails. So far I'm in love with it. Did the same thing with this. I wasn't going to spend $100, which could be several nights camping, so I spent the 10 or 15 bucks. Yeah, maybe cheap. I'm also on a fixed income. As many of you know, I've retired. If somebody watching this video has experience, I believe it's called Atlas is the company that makes the $100 or $150 one, please leave a comment down below, because I'd love to know some of the differences between the two. And I'm wondering if you roll on the throttle, will it automatically disengage? That way it would maybe be a little bit safer than this, because this has got some quirks to it. Like I said, a guy could get himself in trouble with one of these. I would not suggest this for a new rider or a novice rider. Be safe as you can be. Try not to use it in a spot that you get yourself in trouble. Use it on the open road. Use it when you've got plenty of space between you and any other vehicle, whether it be behind you or in front of you, and just use it wisely, because it is something that could potentially create a hazardous situation if it sneaks up on you. So just be aware of that. Again, let's get to the drawing. The drawing is going to be for the Gen 3 Tribe. There's 3 ways to enter on the Gen 3. There was 3 ways to enter to win this Gen 3 Tribe puck. This one's obviously used. It's the one I've been using. The one you're going to be getting is going to be brand new. So let's get to the drawing. Angie went through and she counted up and tallied up everybody. She always does a great job when she's doing that. And the winner is Lee Rognile. Lee Rognile, you are the winner of the Gen 3 Tribe puck. Congratulations. Congratulations, Lee. I'm so excited for you. I will be contacting you through Facebook. I'll send you a private message, get your address. That way we can get this mailed out to you, so you'll have it for your summer trips and adventures. So again, we appreciate all your likes, comments, and subscribes. Please share this video with anybody that you know that may be thinking about getting one of these throttle locks for their bike. It doesn't have to be a KLR, it could be any kind of motorcycle that does not have cruise control. It is another tool to have in the toolbox, especially when you're on your longer adventures. I would not use it riding around town. Again, guys, we appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes. May you have a blessed week, and let's go ride.